So packing, what I would advise, at least for guys, packing. Depends on what kind of haircut you have, what kind of hairstyle. I'll advise you to buy a machine. I also have a machine. I haven't been using it, as you can see, but I have a shaver, electronic shaver. I would also advise you to bring loads of deodorant, because they don't have, the deodorant here is a bit different to the one that we have, so it's not as strong as what we have. So you want to bring that strong stuff, because here it's very hot and you're going to arrive in summer, so you're going to be sweating buckets. Yes, you're from the Caribbean and it's hot too, but here it's 40 degrees. It's not 40 degrees back home.
The heat here is so different. Like, I think the humidity is what is making it different too, but
yeah,
it's hot.
Depending on your shoe size, also I'll advise you to bring shoes and maybe bring jeans. Those are the things that, if it depend on your size, if you're a big guy, a big girl, bring your stuff with you, because they're not gonna have the sizes that you want.
Food.
For girls, definitely, like what Michael say, deodorant is a must. I mean, you can order those things online when you get here from Amazon Japan, but or even iHerb, but when you get here, you're really just trying to settle down, so definitely bring some supplies to last you.
Maybe 6 months?
Maybe 6 months. And those things are not heavy. I still have deodorant that I brought and I've been here a year. Jergens. If you're from the Caribbean and you have ashy skin like me and Michael, walk with moisturizer. Walk with some body lotion.
Because the products
here are not meant for
people of our
color, right?
Color, yeah.
So, and girls, makeup. Walk with your makeup. Walk with your own stuff. Hair products as well. My hair has been completely horrible since moving to Japan. I don't know if it's the heat or the water or whatever, but it's been dropping. It's been very dry. No matter how many products I try to use, Japanese products is just not it for my type of hair. Definitely bring your personal care products.
Yeah, and this goes without saying, especially if you don't have the ability to read Japanese, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find products that you want, because you don't know what the contents are.
It's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
And one thing, if I might get a little personal, for girls, our feminine hygiene products, when it's that time of the month, for me personally, I would advise you to bring at least 2 or 3 months supply of these things, whatever it is you use, because Japanese products here, pads in particular, if I might say, are very thin. They're very absorbent, but they're very thin compared to what we know at home. So it took me some trial and error in like trying different brands of products to get the one that is best suited for me. So definitely walk with some backup before and try out the Japanese products that you have here.
And I guess packing again, food. So it depends on your ability to adjust and adapt. Hopefully you have a high ability to adjust and adapt, because at the end of the day you'll be making a big jump from the Caribbean to Japan. But if you can't, it's very necessary to work with your own herbs and spices to make your own food, so that you'll be very comfortable here. Because the food here is completely different. It would not have that Caribbean flavor. So if you want to have that Caribbean spice and flavor, you need to walk with it and recreate it yourself. Unless you live in Tokyo, and even in Tokyo I think there's only 1 or 2 shops you can go and purchase Caribbean food, and from what I've heard, it's alright. So you'll be better off making it yourself.
So again, it depends on like where you're placed. Most jets are placed countryside. They're the rare ones that get placed in the bigger cities and in Tokyo. But
so do you mind me cutting it across? How many from your year got placed in like?
So in my year, I think there was like 14 or 15 of us, and only 2 people got placed in Tokyo, and they didn't even, I don't think they even put Tokyo as a preference. Everyone else would have gotten either like their second choice or something, and even that's rare to get one of your choices.
I didn't get any of my choices, but
I got it.
I still love Niigata.
We love Niigata though. Like, it's countryside and it's so cold because it's snow country, but
Niigata is never the place you put, but it's always it's the place that you're happy that you're there.
Winter is another thing in Niigata that's the next topic. But
so
back to packing and bringing your food, and bring your curry. You see that mixed curry we can have home? Bring that. Maggi cubes is a lifesaver. And also you be coming in summer, so winter is just a couple months away. See that Maggi super top? The pack, I bring like 2,000 of that, and I survive on that during winter. So pack your stuff.
Oh, and also pack medicine. Another thing that you may not know what it is, so you would want to bring stuff that you're familiar with, especially while you're adjusting and learning how to buy the correct things. But you will get the information from the people here who would be willing to support you, but that would take some time to form these connections. But if you get sick as you immediately come here, you'll have your Panadol or
multi-symptoms. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so
I walk with about like 3 boxes. So walk with your medicine. What else? Snacks. So they have a thing in Japan culture where it's like omiyage. That's like a gift you give to like your co-workers or your friends that you meet. It's a very like first impression sort of thing that's very, very important. My advice is bring a lot of Trini snacks. You can never go wrong with some Charles chocolate, some Bobby.
But be very careful. Again, it depends on when you place in a warm place, you know, your Bobby is gonna melt. So you have to be careful with the candies as well.
Yeah.
I brought kurma, which I thought was good, and it didn't melt or anything, and it lasted. And also depends on when would be first time you're meeting your teachers, because would the snacks last during that time.
Yeah.
So from the time you can get information from your BOE, your advice to find out stuff like that, like how many people you're working with, where you'll be working, when you'll start work, when will be your first day. So you can have an idea about that.
Usually your pred will give you all this information, but your supervisor would email you and you can ask all these questions. For me, I brought Bobby. It didn't melt, it was good. And my friend's mom made barfi for me, and I shared that for my teachers. They loved it. So they bring something that's uniquely Trinidad.
Okay, so for when you finally get accepted and you know you'll be coming here, a lot of people do a lot of research. You can possibly get some of these things set up before you even get into Japan, like telephone in particular, and you can also get internet set up before you come to Japan. Nisa.
Okay, so for me, my year, a lot of students, the embassy would have given us information about getting a Wi-Fi SIM card, and a lot of people bought it from Trinidad so that they will set it up when they got here in the hotel in Tokyo. For me, I wanted to wait because I didn't want to pay the money. I wanted to see what else was out there. When I got to the hotel in Tokyo for orientation, Sakura company was actually giving away free Wi-Fi SIM cards for 2 weeks, so I popped that in my phone and I used that. When I got to my placement, my supervisor helped me set up stuff. Getting a phone and internet, home Wi-Fi and on my phone was kind of pricey for me, and I wasn't sure how my expenses would roll. So I invested in a pocket Wi-Fi, and this little gadget is unlimited Wi-Fi. It works amazingly. There's only sometimes I drive through like mountain roads to get to school. There are some spotty areas where I can't get connection, but other than that, unlimited, and I pay next to nothing when it comes to this. The downfall is I don't have a Japanese phone number, but I have my phone from Trinidad that I use, so I'm always working with these two, and my school emails me everything. So this works for me. So again, research, see what works for you. Don't rush to get anything. When you get here, your supervisor is going to help you.
Yeah, so it really depends. In my case, it was slightly different. I got here, I came with me, both I and Siobhan came here, and when we got here, our supervisor took us around to get our phone number, because we needed a phone, a SIM card to be able to open a bank account. Also, we also needed our NIS number, which is very important.
Really?
So yeah, we had to provide that. So we had to provide our NIS number because they needed to file the taxes here. So also depends on your location, you would need that. So you need an NIS number, you need a Japanese phone number, and then you would need obviously your passport, your contract, these kind of things. So on the first day they took us, we did our registration in the city hall, where basically you have to register yourself that you're living in Japan. After you do that, the second day they'll take you around, get your phone. After I purchased a phone, Siobhan didn't, Siobhan purchased internet separately, and after I got my phone, I had to pay a plan. The plan was 2 years, right? So it also depends on how long you decide to stay. So if you know you're gonna stay here for a little while, it's okay to get a contract, because in the end it will work out. But if not, otherwise against getting a contract, because then you have cancellation fees.
And cancellation fees are quite hefty.
Quite hefty.
Yeah.
Although recently they changed that program, and also the new Prime Minister Sugar is trying to change that.
BTS.
Yeah, he's changing that rule. So maybe when you get here, you may not have as high cancellation fees, but right now, that's the thing.
It's up there.
So,
for bank account, my supervisor took me to the bank, local bank, helped me set up everything, and it was a smooth transaction. So I didn't need a number, was on my form, so I didn't need that. And yeah, it all depends on how long you want to stay. Like Michael said, if you know you're going to stay here for more than a year, then a phone plan is the way to go. For me, I wasn't sure. I'm still taking it year by year basis and feeling how things go. So take something that's less.
Some tips. Okay, some tips about coming to Japan. I would say be prepared for culture shock. It may not happen at the beginning. It may not happen your entire time. It may only happen when you go back home to Trinidad. But prepared. Be prepared for it, because when it comes and it will be a difficult time, and you may want to like peel away from other people and not talk to people. But that is the time when you need to like talk to your friends, talk to your family back home.
And don't be worried about making friends here. The jet community in your area, there's likely more jets near you that lives very close, or even in the same apartment complex like Michael does. Stay with them, especially during winter time. Like Trinidad, especially if you haven't experienced winter, it is going to be an adjusting period, especially where you're placed. So definitely go out with your friends, be open to new adventures. Have no expectations, so that way if things doesn't go your way, you're not feeling down, you're not feeling depressed. Mental health is a very big issue here, and Japan still isn't on level with where mental health should be. As it
what I would say is Japan has a different approach to Western approach to mental health. So their approach would be that, you know, it's more like they have this ganbate culture, so you're gonna have to like continue and persevere. And we have a different approach in the West. So be aware of these cultural differences, which will impact upon you. I would also say that for during winter or any time in general, to like go out and don't be like always inside the apartment.
Yeah, don't do that.
Even though you might be an introverted person and you would want to be inside, I'd advise you to go out and become like a member of the community. So join, you know, they have like volleyball, they have, you know, kickboxing, you have basketball, soccer, what have you. If it's not a sport, you can go learn, you know, how to knit or
taiko,
how to
you can do
taiko,
like I do judo
or hip hop.
I did hip hop, all in Japanese, and it was super fun. So get out there and do things that you're not accustomed to. I mean, Japan for most people is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Take everything and run with it.
Yeah, and even if like you don't want to necessarily learn something, you could also go and like teach something.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a really skilled dancer, if you could play the pan,
we can make doubles.
If you can cook, you know, so many ways you could, you know, because it's not just about teaching.
Yeah.
You know,
cultural exchange.
It's exchange. So focus on that E. You know, really get out there and spread, you know, the love.
Our final thing is ESID. Every situation is different, but open mind and feel the fear, but do it anyway.
Yeah, and also please remember to click the link and subscribe.
Like and subscribe to Sandrine's channel. She's making a difference one video at a time, and she definitely has some great content. Michael and I are very honored to be part of this little jet series, so hopefully all our advice today would help someone on their jet journey, and if not, and when you're here, welcome to Japan. We hope to see you soon.
Yes.